Tippy time, my damies, Top Cat here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are on my Great Balls of Fire build. This is run on our Solar Warlock. This build is pure madness. You're going to have to turn down the colors on your monitor because you're just going to be seeing yellow and orange endlessly. For this, we will be dusting up the Sunbraces, an exotic they haven't really been utilized in a long time. They have an exotic perk called Helium Spirals, increases the duration of solar grenades. Solar melee kills grant unlimited solar grenades for a brief time. This time is 5 seconds. We will be combining this with a touch of flame solar aspect. This is going to make our solar grenades have increased linger duration. Additionally, these will periodically emit blobs of lava around its perimeter. Between the exotic gauntlets and the touch of flame solar aspect, your grenades are going to last 10 seconds on the ground, with 4 to 5 grenades just puking out lava. You can see how devastating these things are. During that time you can easily get up another melee. People often spec wrong for this build. They think, oh, it's a grenade build, you need lots of discipline. You don't. It's actually the opposite. You need a strength build. But to help get us our endless loot, we're going to be using Bountiful Wells, Elemental Ordnance, Elemental Charge, and Heavy Handed. With the combination of these mods, it's going to give you automatically half of your melee energy back when you're charged with light. We're charged with light all the time because every one of your grenades is going to be dropping 2 wells of light. There's 8 on the ground right there, easily charged, so I can easily get my melee back up when I need it. Also, you don't actually need a grenade charge to be throwing the grenades. It's automatically going to give you grenade charge the second you've got your Sunbraces procced and ready to go. You've got a 4-second timer to actually start throwing your grenades, so you get your melee kill. It's going to give you a 4-second window to activate it, and then you've got 4 seconds to throw them. I've chosen to go with the Incendia Snap melee. I actually quite like this one. It's got a little bit of tracking to it, it's got Scorch to it, so it can target like multiple targets. It can fan out, get a nice line of them, and I just find this more consistent than the Celestial Fire. The Celestial Fire chucks the 3 bolts at one target, but it somehow feels like it's a little bit nerfed. This one just feels nicer, and I think works nicer, particularly when I'm floating in the air, is it's got a little bit more tracking. You do need the melee kill to get the Sunbraces to work, so depending on the level of content, you might need to shoot it down a little bit to get it to actually die from the melee. The second solar aspect we're using is Heat Rises. I primarily use this as final blows whilst airborne, increase the duration of heat rises, and grant melee energy. It's the melee energy we are after. So just do a little bunny hop whenever you're going to be chucking a grenade or anything like that. You don't have to be floating 10,000 miles up in the air, you just need to be slightly off the ground. It's got a little levitation to it, and it's just going to be feeding you melee energy, infinite grenades. Some people might not feel overly adept at fighting from the air. Try Phoenix Dive. If you ever feel you're trapped up in the air, just drop back down to earth, you get your heal, and you're safe on the ground again. But I urge you to give this a go because it is kind of the way that the Solar Warlock was always intended to be played. On our helmet, we're double stacking the Ashes to Assets, gains bonus super energy on grenade kills. We obviously are chucking an awful lot of grenades, so this is going to help get us up super nice and quick. I have been using the well for this build, but I mean, feel free to use the other one if you want, depending on set activity. I mean, the well's already quick as super to get, but double Ashes to Assets, you're going to have this thing all the time. Quick side note, I actually think there might be a glitch with these grenades because as you can see, this Minotaur just decides to up and die. I think it might be from those volcanic blobs, but I believe that's just a glitch. On our gauntlets, we are running Momentum Trance. We're causing damage with grenades. It's going to give us melee energy. Fastball is pretty much just a thing for comfort. It just makes it easier to chuck grenades, more comfortable doing so. I mean, you can see the range on these things is proper stupid, so it just gives you the more direct pattern of attack. Heavy Handed also has a secondary perk available to us. While surrounded by multiple combatants, defeating a combatant with a fusion rifle and a sidearm, for me in this case, shotgun sub are also options. It's going to add ammo from that weapon's reserves into your mag. This is pretty much subsistence. I use this on my Riptide, This is a great option for this build. This is pretty much the new Cartesian in the kinetic slot, and a Drang. The one reason I am loving this Drang right now for this build is this perk here, Incandescent. This pretty much has a Scorch Dragonfly effect on as you are shooting, so this is going to stack with all our Scorch from our melees and everything, and sometimes it can even proc as a melee if you're shooting something that has been previously meleeed to activate your Sunbraces, which is great fun. But just the sidearms in general are feeling a lot better this season, and particularly like in the new dungeon, there's a lot of close combat adds, and sidearms great for these. On our legs, we're running the Well of Life mod. Picking up a Solar Well is going to give us healing powers, 10 seconds I believe it is. We're getting like 8 wells for our grenade barrage, so there's always going to be wells, we're always going to be healing. Sword Scavenger, as you might have noticed that we are running the Lament. This exotic sword is mega strong. Currently one of the highest DPSing heavy weapons in the game. And a lot of our encounters are designed for sword play, so it's great that this feels so comfortable and can do some stupid strong DPS additionally. We just guard for a second, spam left bumper, get the flurry going on, and then finish it off with the uppercut on the right bumper. This is also a great weapon because it also comes with anti-barrier stuck with it as well, so it's great for GMs and dungeons alike. On our class item, we are running Solar Fulmination. This is in the last tab of the seasonal artifact. Elemental Charge, Molten Overload, and Outreach. Ember of Ashes Solar Fragment. You apply more Scorch stacks to targets. Ember of Searing Solar Fragment. Defeating Scorch targets grants melee energy. Ember of Tempering. Our solar weapon final blows are going to give us recovery stacks. And Ember of Blistering. Defeating targets with solar ignitions grants grenade energy. We stack all these things together and we have a very powerful build. It's got great air clearing capabilities. You know, the dungeon, for example, has got just hordes and hordes of repetitive adds, and a lot of dungeons do. The Taken one, for example, Ghost, they all have just a barrage of adds that just constantly respawn at you. So a build like this is very strong. Anyway, my damies, this is my Great Balls of Fire build. I hope you like it. I hope you give it a go. If you are new and you enjoyed this, please hit that sub button, like if you could. And until next time, tippy time, my damies, what a time.